And welcome to today's video. If you're new here, my name is Hermione and today I'm going to be sharing some DIY room decor with you. Because summer is right around the corner, I thought this was a perfect excuse to share some really bright and bold room decor ideas with you. And actually, you can probably see a couple of these pillows in the background. I'm going to show you how to make them in this video. I am obsessed with them and I kind of never want to take them off my bed ever again. So if you want to see those and the other DIY projects in this video, let's get into it.
So this first DIY that I want to show you guys is this adorable tiny basket that you can use to collect knickknacks on your desk. So you'll need some rope for this, and you'll also need something to base the basket around that's quite small, like a bowl. I'm using this old candle. So start by turning that upside down and then you can get working on your basket. Use a glue gun to glue the rope in place and then start winding it around itself as I'm doing here. Use very small bits of glue as you go along to keep it in place, but don't use too much so that it won't kind of poke out of the side of the basket. This is quite tedious and it will take a little while, but stick with it. And once you've gotten over the lip of the bowl, you can actually take it off the bowl so that it doesn't stick, and you can start working on it much more easily. If the rope is quite soft, it might fall in on itself if you make the basket too tall. That's why we're just making a mini one today. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and add some small handles. For this, I'm just cutting out 2 tiny pieces of rope and gluing them in again with the glue gun. You can decorate your basket as you would like, but I'm making some little tassels with embroidery thread. You might have seen me make this many times before, so I won't bore you, but I just wrap it around my fingers. I wrap it around my fingers about 40 or 50 times. Then I take a small piece of thread and wrap it through that loop that I've just made. And then I use another piece of thread that goes around the loop that we made, quite close to the top, to give it that kind of tassel look. And once that's tied in place, you can go ahead and cut the ends of the tassel and it should look something like this. Go ahead and tie those on or glue them if you'd like, and then you have your basket completely made. I think this is a really cute addition to a desk and it can help you store some of the items you might have lying around. Next up is this DIY ring dish, and for this I'm using resin to give it a more polished look and to make it look as if you bought it brand new. So I'm using this dish, it's from Target, and some resin, jewelry resin you can get in the craft store or on Amazon or online. This comes in 2 parts, so mix it as per the instructions. Before mixing, I actually used a little bit of the unmixed resin to help put some of my bigger pieces of glitter confetti in place. Once I was done with that, I just kind of sprinkled the rest on in any kind of fashion. You can use glitter or pressed flowers or whatever you like, but once you've put them in place, go ahead and mix your resin properly and pour it on top of your tray. Make sure you get a nice even coverage and use a lollipop stick or a popsicle stick if you're from America, and you can use this to even the resin out. I actually decided to make another one of these in a gold color scheme, so I'm going ahead and doing the same process again and pouring the resin on top. It did take about 10 minutes for each of these trays to make sure that the resin was perfectly in all of the corners and nice and flat. If you get any air bubbles in your resin, you can just gently blow on it and they should pop. Your finished piece should look something like this. I just love the way that resin makes this look so glossy. It's so much better than using just glue or Mod Podge. Resin will definitely up your DIY game. Next up, I want to show you guys how to upcycle a basket and make it into a lampshade, and you can use any basket, wood, plastic or whatever. I found mine in Sainsbury's. It was in the summer section. I think it's a basket for protecting foods at picnics. And then I'm just using the inside of an old lampshade. You can find this in old lampshades or maybe in the craft store. You can use that frame and tip it upside down to mark where the bulb is going to go through. I'm using this circle shape on the top and a pencil. And then once you've done that, go ahead and cut this out very carefully, either using a craft knife or some scissors. If you're using plastic like me, scissors worked well. Like I said, you can use any kind of basket for this as long as it's a good lampshade kind of shape and you can cut through it properly. properly. Once I removed the plastic from the circle I cut in the middle and the handles, I went ahead with a hot glue gun and just put any extra bits that were poking out in place. Using the wire lampshade frame, I placed this inside where the hole was, and I actually decided to use hot glue for this because it was actually really strong. So use a small bit of glue to secure it in place, and then go and use quite a lot of glue on top of the wire once that's dry, and this should make it really stable. Once it's dried completely, you should be good to go, and it shouldn't be able to move around too much, and you can put it on your lamp base. This is what mine turned out to look like. I love the colors, and I'm really pleased with the way this turned out. If you're like me and you love Anthropologie pillows but they're a little bit out of your price range, I'm going to show you guys how I DIY'd these pillows out of Anthropologie napkins, which are way cheaper. These are the napkins I bought. They were $4.99 in the sale, and I love the fringing around the side. I think that's amazing, so I'm going to keep this intact. You can use any kind of napkins or any kind of tea towels or anything you want. It doesn't have to be from Anthropologie. So I'm just cutting out the labels, and then I'm placing two together because I want to keep that nice fringed edge. I am not sewing this right sides together and then folding it inside out. I'm actually sewing it wrong sides together, if that makes any sense. So all I'm doing is running my sewing machine along the lines, each side on 3 of the sides. You can hand stitch this if you would like, and I'm actually going to sew the pillow into this. You can put a zipper or some kind of closure on it if you'd like, but I didn't want to mess it up, so I just decided to sew the pillow inside it. So I'm just pinning that into place once the pillow's inside, and then once again running that through my machine. If this is a little bit tight once you put the pillow in, I would just recommend using a hand stitch to close up that last edge. And this is what it looks like. I'm really pleased with it, and obviously most pillows are made the traditional way, but I just really love that fringe and I really wanted that to show.
That is everything for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, if you make any of these projects, I'd love to see them or hear about it. Tag me on Instagram or come say hi on Twitter. I'm kind of lonely on Twitter, so come say hi. That's everything for this video. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.